Buenas y Santas. I am here today to share with you how I make the Detente scapular. I won't share the making of this particular. I will make one that is more traditional and more simple. But later on, maybe we can make these fancy ones. I would like to read here. I have a little cheat sheet about the history of this beautiful devotion. The scapular of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is known as the Detente scapular or the bullet stopper. It's a small badge or scapular with the image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, accompanied by "Seize the Heart of Jesus is with me." It is made with different materials, fabric, metallic, printed, and it means an expression of trust in the protection of Christ's heart, especially in moments of physical or spiritual danger. It was worn by soldiers in different Spanish wars, French, and it is a visible sign of faith and consecration to the Sacred Heart. The image can be this heart, like I make it, or it can be an actual image of Jesus with his Sacred Heart and the crown of thorns, the cross. I will show you how to make it like this. I don't have that image. And it is a very popular devotion in Spain and in Hispano-America. And people gift it as a sacramental of protection to put on the door, or for babies to put in their cradle, and also as for soldiers and police. It's a beautiful sacramental that reminds us that Jesus is there with us. This doesn't do anything. It's not a magical thing that will protect us. It is what it represents. It's a sign. It has to be blessed by a priest. And the theological meaning is that it does not promise immunity from suffering, but companionship amid danger. Christ is the center, his love is the shield, and his heart a sure refuge. Carrying a Detente is a permanent reminder that the heart of Jesus is present in the daily battle, either spiritual or physical or both. So what you're going to need to make this beautiful sacramental is 2 circles of felt 3 inches in diameter, 1 white, or this is batting. It can be any material that acts as a filling between the 2 red circles, also 3 inches, or like I did here, is a little bit smaller. If you want it a little fancier than just these 3 pieces, you can add a little doily, and I will show you how I make it with mine. Then you will need a 2-inch circle of white felt, 2-inch in diameter, and the red felt heart. You will need the prayer. What I did is I have a stamp because I make so many, but you can write it with a permanent pen. This is especially for fabric, so it doesn't come off. And you write it on cotton or linen on a white piece of fabric. I like to draw the rectangle, the frame, so then it's easier for me when I do the applique on the back. You will need embroidery floss, Elmer's glue, thread, your needles, your scissors, a piece of felt. I will show you how to cut the heart. And I think that is about it. Like I said, the first thing you're going to do is the heart. You're going to draw only half of it, fold the felt in half, draw half of the heart, and then you cut it like this. This is to me the easiest way to do the heart. It is not perfect, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. But it comes out pretty good and symmetrical. Next, you're going to glue the batting on the back of one of the red circles, like this. And then on the front, you're going to glue the doily. You're going to glue the doily a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. Once that is done, you're going to grab a needle with white thread. When we put the camera a little bit farther away, make sure it has the knot at the end, and then you're going to proceed to attach the doily to the red circle. It doesn't have to be too many stitches, just enough so it stays put, because you're going to be sewing all the other stuff on top. Here I do want to show you that, for example, for this doily that is bigger than the circle, I'm going to fold this to the inside, and I'm going to go with my needle here and attach it so it stays there. So I'm going to do that with all these tips that come off, and I will apply the whole doily. Next, you're going to grab your white circle and you're going to glue it on top of the doily, right in the center. What I did is, with this pen that comes off with heat, I drew lines to mark my stitch to make it more visible for you. I put a dot in the center, and it doesn't have to be exact. This is for your personal devotion first. It can be, then when you practice more, you can make it more detailed and learn new things and make it better. But I did the lines here, and I will show you how with this yellow color I will actually do the rays surrounding the heart, and at the same time it will attach the white piece to the red and to the doily. So I just go with a regular stitch, straight stitch. You can come up here and then go down, all at the same distance, nothing fancy, complicated. This is more of a light yellow, and then for the flame I am going to use a darker yellow gold color. You go all the way around. Next, we are going to attach the heart. Pay attention to the design of the doily if you use one, just to make sure it is symmetrical in some way, or it is laying the way that you want it. Once you put the heart, you apply the heart, then you won't be able to change it, or you will have to undo it. So I glue the heart again with this Elmer's glue, more not right in the center, because I want to have room to embroider the flame and the cross on top. I'm going to grab embroidery floss. This is red, and it has it's a 3-ply. Okay, I divide it in half, and once the heart is glued and secured, I go and I do an overcut stitch all around the heart. Secure it really, really well, making sure it is well placed and the way I want it. So you're going to do this all the way around the heart. With this has 3 strands of brown thread, embroidery thread, I am going to make the cross on top here of the heart. You can make it as big or small as you want. I like to make it kind of big because then I'm going to add the flames, and I don't want the cross to get lost among all those flames. There is a cross. With the 6 strands of a darker yellow, I will make the flames surrounding the top of the heart here. Again, just straight stitches, and you can make them different lengths. You can make them short, long, as easy or as complicated as you want. I will make them this way. I'll show you one side. Three. Actually, I will keep going a little bit more. I want to fill it up here. Okay, so I will do the other side and I will show you what it looks like. So this is what the flame looks like on both sides. Now I'm going to do the crown of thorns. There are many ways to make the crown. I will do it as simple as possible. I am using green and brown embroidery thread mixed together. So between the two is a 6 strand, it's like a 6 strand thread. I cross it across from one side of the heart to the other on both sides. And then I do like a thorn in the middle. And it will also hold the thread together. And you can make these that symbolize also thorns on both sides, up and down. Okay. For the wound on the side, I mix just regular sewing thread, pink, and a metallic red. You can use just a pink color. You can even use a darker color. That's according to your own preference. Sometimes it's hard to notice it, so I don't know. This time I just chose to use these 2 threads. And you can do like a double pass. Oops. Yes. The metallic thread gets caught a little bit. It's a little difficult sometimes. And there you go. Now it's time to apply the prayer on the back. Again, I glue it with Elmer's glue. Doesn't have to be straight once you put it together. Don't worry about it as long as it is there. I use my sewing thread double and I fold on each line and I apply the prayer. You can also do it without folding the sides, but I don't think it will last as long. I rather secure it this way, and again I go all the way around. I will show you how I fold it here in the corner. It isn't This is an overcast stitch. Here I go like this. I fold it neatly. I just hold it with my hands and I keep going. Make sure you secure the corners really well. And you go all the way around. We are almost done. I will grab the glue again and I will attach the back. I am generous here because when you do the embroidery around, which I use a blanket stitch for that, it's kind of hard because the fabric moves. So put a good amount of glue so it stays there when you're doing your blanket stitch all the way around. So I go here in the middle of this lining fabric and I start my blanket stitch generally on the top. You can start wherever. It just makes it easier. And I go about this distance to here to make sure it's very secure and it will last. I like to make things that will last a long time. The thread is a 6-strand and it is a long thread because I don't want to run out. I want it to last me all the way around so it looks neater. So there you see, I use my blanket stitch and I complete the circle. Okay, so all the parts are put together and now I'm going to use the bullion stitch to make the little hook that goes, or hoop, I don't know what you call it, that goes here on top. So you can hang it or put a ribbon on top and hang it. So I make sure it is center. I go from one side to the other and I proceed to do the bullion stitch. Goes like this. It is depending on how big it is, I recommend to use a long needle. Sometimes you have to use pliers to make the thread pass to help you with your hands. Hopefully not this time I'll be able to do it. Make sure the distance is a little bit longer. Okay, and now start running the thread through the needle. Doesn't have to be huge, just enough space for you to pass a ribbon through or a pin. There's enough room there. And I make the final knot. Make sure it's tight, so it lasts, it's safe. And it is done. So this is how I make my scapulars. This is a simple way to make one for, like I said, for your personal devotion, or if you start to spreading this beautiful, amazing devotion that Jesus gifted us with. So, well, I hope you like the tutorial and I will see you soon. God bless you.